Hi friends, I'm here to read you the next two chapters of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Chapter 44. Zipping across the slick marble floor, Kyle and his team, trailed by Haley, practically slid into Community Room B, where Andrew Peckelman stood with a notepad jotting down everything that was written on the whiteboard walls. "Hey!" shouted Akimi, "that's cheating!" Andrew spun around. His eyes were the size of tennis balls behind his goggle glasses. He sputtered. "You guys left the door open." "No, we did not," said Kyle. No, we did not," said Kyle extremely calmly, especially considering how much he wanted to throttle Peckelman. "It locks automatically. I checked. And I double-checked the door before we went to bed," said Miguel. Kyle was surprised to hear it. "You did?" "You bet, bro. It's what teammates do." They knocked knuckles. "Well, you don't have anything but a stupid list of stupid books and stupid authors and stupid Bible verse and a verse which," boomed Mr. Lemoncello, whose face had just appeared on the video screen wall, "you would do well to memorize, Mr. Peckelman. Thou shalt not steal." Mr. Lemoncello was dressed in a curled white wig and a long black robe. He looked like a judge in England. He slammed down a rubber gavel on his desk. It made a noise like a whoopee cushion. "Will everyone kindly join me in the rotunda reading room at once?" Everybody shuffled out of the meeting room and into the rotunda. They were all shocked to see that Mr. Lemoncello himself was seated behind the librarian's desk at the center of the circular room. This was no hologram. This was the real deal. Charles, all smiles, made a grand entrance, slowly descending one of the spiral staircases. "Good morning, everybody," he called cheerfully. "What's all the excitement? Did I miss something?" "Just your man Andrew Peckelman trying to cheat," said Miguel. "What? Oh, good morning, Mr. Lemoncello. I didn't expect to find you here, inside the library. Isn't today your birthday, sir?" "Yes, Charles, and there's no place I'd rather be on my big day than inside a library, surrounded by books, unless, of course, I could be on a bridge to Terabithia. "Well, sir, I must say you're certainly looking fit and trim. Have you been working out?" "No, Charles. Today I will be working in." "I beg your pardon?" "Today I will be working here, inside the library, supervising the final hours of this competition." "Oh, I don't think it will take hours, sir," said Charles. "Not to brag, but I suspect some of us will be going home very soon." "You are correct. For instance, Mr. Peckelman. He will be leaving right now." "What?" whined Peckelman. "Why?" "Because you cheated. You tried to steal the other team's hard-earned information." Peckelman's eyes darted back and forth. "It wasn't my fault. It was Charles' idea." He whipped up his arm and waggled his finger. "Charles told me to do it. He made me do it." "Mr. Peckelman, please approach the bench, which in this instance is actually a desk. Um, Let me see the library card you used to gain access to the community room B." Somewhat reluctantly, Andrew handed it over. "Is your name Sierra Russell?" "No, sir," Andrew said to his shoes. "He stole my card," said Sierra. She opened her latest book and pulled out the library card bookmark. "Whose card do you have, Sierra?" asked Charles. "Andrew Peckelman's." "Aha," said Charles. "He pulled the old switcheroo, eh?" "Because you told me to," said Peckelman. "Really," said Charles, sniggering. "How dare you make such a scandalous accusation? Do you have any proof?" I don't need any stupid proof. You bullied me into stealing Sierra's card." Mr. Lemoncello banged his gavel again. "And thus ends the story of Andrew and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Mrs. Bunny?" A hologram of the old lady bunny from Goodnight Moon hopped on top of the librarian's desk. "Good night, Andrew," said the bunny. "Your time with us is all through." Clarence and Clement, the security guards, appeared and escorted Peckelman out of the building. "Sir," said Sierra, "would you like Andrew's library card for the discard pile?" "No, thank you. That card is now property of Team Kyle." Haley raised her hand. "Yes, Haley?" Kyle saw her shoot a withering glance at Charles. "How may I help you, dear?" asked Mr. Lemoncello. "Well, sir, if it's okay with you, I'd like to switch sides. I want to join Kyle Keeley's team." "Zap!" said Mr. Lemoncello, waving... Oh, sorry, chapter 45. "Zap!" said Mr. Lemoncello, waving his arms like a magician. "Zip! Now you're on Kyle Keeley's team." "Haley," said Charles, "how can you desert me?" "The same way that you just deserted Andrew." Do we get her library card too?" asked Kyle. "Indeed you do. Plus any and all of the information she chooses to share with you. And so, Charles, I ask you, would you like to quit your team and join Kyle's?" "Excuse me?" "You know, all for one and one for all." "Sir, with all due respect, that may have worked for those three musketeers in a trumped-up work of fiction, but I'm sorry. That is not how things work in the real world. Out here, it's every man for himself. What is a good what good is a prize if everyone wins it? I see, but Haley knows all of the clues that you've collected. True, Sarah, but I doubt she realizes what any of them mean. Kyle could see Mr. Lemoncello's nose twitch when Charles said that. And it wasn't a happy bunny kind of twitch either. It was a joke, sir. Charles must have seen the nose twitch too. Oh, I see. Like the one about the boy named Charles? Hilarious. Remind me to tell you it sometime. Anyway, be that as it may, I insist that you be given a few extra clues to compensate for the fact that all of your teammates are either being kicked out of the game or abandoning your ship. Mr. Lemoncello reached under the desk and pulled out a white envelope. This, Charles, is for your eyes only. Charles stepped forward and took the envelope. Thank you, sir. That is very generous. I know, you may ask me one question, but please don't waste your question on asking me where is the alternate exit, because I do not know. You don't know? Kyle said before Charles could. Haven't a clue. This entire game was designed by my head librarian, Dr. Yanina Zinchenko, as my birthday present. But, said Akimi, you could just ask Dr. Zinchenko how to get out, right? Akimi Hughes, are you one of those people who read the last chapter of a book first to see how it ends? No, but good. It's much more fun when the ending is a surprise. Dr. Zinchenko is the only one who knows how and where to exit this building without setting off all sorts of fire alarms. Any clues that I personally delivered during the course of this game were completely scripted for me by Dr. Z. Okay, said Charles. Here's my question. Mr. Lemoncello raised his hand. Before you ask it, be advised, your opponents will also hear my answer. Fine. Why is the book on the bedside table in your private suite from the mixed-up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankenweiler by E.L. Konigsberg? Because when I was your age, Mrs. Tobin, my local librarian, gave it to me. Miguel raised his hand. Yes, Miguel? Can we have one bonus question too? He asked politely. No, said Mr. Lemoncello. However, I will give you one bonus answer, which Charles, of course, will also hear. Your bonus answer is lodgepole, loblolly, and Rocky Mountain White. What are 3 different kinds of pine trees? Said Charles, just to show off and to let Kyle's team know that their bonus answer didn't give them any kind of advantage. I am told that is correct, said Mr. Lemoncello, touching his ear. He reached under the desk again and this time pulled up a 3-foot-tall hourglass, a giant version of the red plastic timers that came with standard game equipment in a lot of his games. He turned it over. It's the jumbo 3-hour size, he said, as the sand started trickling down, because it's now 9 o'clock and you have only 3 more hours to find your way out of the library. Good luck, and may the best team, or in Charles's case, the best solo effort, win.